Hi everybody, welcome to another Low on Health Rambling where I kind of go over what I've done the last past day or so. Today's of course April 28th, it's a Wednesday 2010. It's around 3:05 p.m., another afternoon one, just kind of chilling back, relaxing, haven't really done too much. Did the usual bike ride and housework and yard work, which is kind of fun. Also worked on a little bit of a project here and there that I've been constantly kind of spending the last couple of days on working on this PowerPoint presentation for somebody, which is kind of fun because I haven't really done PowerPoint before. I mean, I've dabbled in it, but not as much as I have right now. And then other than that, just relaxing and doing videos and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on some things real quick. Let's go ahead and start this out with the movie I watched recently, which was SemiPro, which is another kind of time period piece from Will Ferrell. Of course, I say time period almost makes me think it's like highbrow. This is a classic Will Ferrell movie. Not as bad as Step Brother, which was horrible, but along the lines of kind of Anchorman and whatnot, but not as good as Anchorman. And of course, has Woody Harrelson. It's kind of more of a parody of the early '70s basketball, plays and whatnot. It's funny. I mean, it's a Will Ferrell film. If you like Will Ferrell movies, you'll like it. If you don't, you won't. It won't sway you one way or another. It's not like Stranger Than Fiction, which isn't a normal, Will Ferrell movie that was just freaking awesome, and people should watch that. But other than that, let's go ahead and move on here. Game FAQs. Their Game FAQ poll today is, of course, what do you do for a living? In which case, you see kind of the basic spread there, and of course, I am nothing right now, but I'm looking for work. I almost would say nothing, and I'm happy with that, but I'm not going to say that. Moving on here, this kind of gives you probably the best kind of idea of who actually visits, Game FAQs, in which case college students are apparently the biggest draw, and then full-time workers, followed by grad students, or grade students, school students, which is actually kind of interesting. Graduate students, part-time work, not a lot of homemakers, which is actually, of course, the lowest, and nothing and happy with that is also kind of low, too. But it's just kind of interesting. It shows, it's probably mostly 20, 30-somethings that do this, and a decent amount of grade school kids. Moving on. Now, I mentioned yesterday Gamefly had not shipped me near. And, I sent them an email and whatnot, and I got a response from it, and I'll get to that in a second. So I decided to go and keep near, and then I threw Risen in there, and that's also on low. I was hoping maybe to get some type of game so I can play something new. But, looking at this real quick, I'm going to go touch the email real quick. This is my email to them and the response. And the response I got back from them is that I guess I had added near in and out of my queue while pruning my queue. You kind of take some things out so that because they maybe had a different date, so I didn't want it to conflict with one. And they basically said I re-added it to my queue basically a month ago on March 23rd. And their response is that people sometimes put new releases in the queues for months in advance, which I do. But they're basically saying it's a first come first served basis. So essentially, 3 to 4, a month ago when they know I wanted it, they don't take that into account when they order stuff. So basically, I don't know how far back they go in their ordering process, but it's more than a month. Which, kudos to them. It's their business model. I wasn't too pissed off about it. But it's just interesting. So what I'm going to do now is definitely keep things in my queue all the time, and then not add them and subtract them, and just keep them in there. And then when their days come, take them out the day before or whatnot. But keep them in my queue because apparently that will put me in the priority basis. So, whatever. I'm still kind of peeved, but that's just the way the world works. I am, still working on Halo ODST. Got an achievement again last night. Looking at doing the Deja Vu Vidmaster one, but, whatever. I'm not pissed off, but I'm just kind of disappointed. I'm very antsy to play something new, and all my other exploits of trying to play older games or PC games have kind of come up dry. Anywho, let me just go on and move on to the game I got right here, which is, of course, going to be DDR Economics. If you probably search my YouTube page and whatnot, you will find that I have a DDR YouTube video. Now, what got me interested in DDR, besides that one little excursion, was this video of this chick freestyling. I wasn't that good at DDR, like the actual technical standpoint, like doing really fast things, doing like the more than 6-foot songs. But what I liked about the game was kind of its freestyle element. Like, how can you take memorizing the songs and actually doing little dance moves? In which case, this video here, which granted quality isn't great, actually got me more motivated in doing DDR and got me motivated in doing the tournaments and whatnot. And basically, I remember playing it back in the day, and then I was like, oh, I got to get a version of this, and that's when I got the PlayStation version. And of course, I guess I broke the case at some point, and that's why I have it in a DVD case. Here it is, boom, boom. But I just remember playing this a lot. I used to bring it to work at Anime Nation, where we had a map pad there, and we would set it up and play it. And really just enjoyed playing DDR. And like I said, I enjoyed it so much, I did a tournament of it. I used to go down to like Boca Raton, Miami, play down there. My stepmom and dad had a place down there. They had Boomer's Arcade, which I will probably do another thing, just explain my DDR session. But I really enjoyed DDR. This game itself, I used to like bring it to work, and me and Darren, who I've mentioned before, used to play it all the time during lunch break and whatnot. And actually, look, I actually got Stepmania, which is the computer version of it, so you can play it on the computer. I got the map pad and everything. I'm not really interested in the sock hop, but was actually playing DDR more for the exercise element of it, just kind of the cardiac the cardio for it. In which case, I wouldn't even play for the score, and I would just set up Stepmania and kind of just do the motions while the song was playing, which is interesting because then this is an example of Stepmania right here for the PC. But what I've realized recently is with the advent of YouTube, is a lot of people have put up the different versions of songs and whatnot. So you don't even have to have Stepmania or any type of DDR game to play DDR. I mean, unless you really care about score. But you can just kind of pretend to play. Like, just do the foot movements. You don't even need a pad. Just boot this up and dance around and play for it. Which is awesome, because there's just tons of songs on YouTube in all the different difficulties. Which I just think is awesome. And right now I'm just going to showcase some while I'm doing this real quick. But I just think that's really cool now. I mean, if you're not that big into DDR, if you just want some, workout stuff, it's almost kind of like workout videos. And I mean, I love the songs, and I remember just playing the hell out of DDR back in the day. And I do recommend, if you don't know what DDR is or want to see my exploits in DDR, I have a DDR video which I will probably link right here. Click on that and that'll take you to my DDR tournament thing, which you might not even care about. Boop. But I just really love DDR. I love the PlayStation version of it. I never really bought another version of DDR. All the 360 versions, the newer versions, I haven't been really interested in because they have a low song set. It's always better just to kind of play them on the PC. And I have basically right now huge, like over 3,000 Stepmania tracks that I'm currently calming down. I do want to play this one real quick. This is Afro Nova, which is my favorite song to play on DDR in the arcades because I could do it freestyle, which was pretty cool. Me and this other guy had it set up to where we could do the freestyle of it, and we would actually time ourselves and do spins and everything, but that was ages ago. But DDR, I used to love it, debating on getting back into it, but right now I'm kind of doing my bike ride for my cardio. But loved it. Haven't played some of the newer versions for achievements, but haven't really cared. So other than that, as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Hopefully with more. I'm not really doing much.